I think this opens up to a bigger discussion is, do you think based on what we saw, like as far as what we're getting new this year for someone that's already been, do you think it's worth it to go again?
I've said this for a few years now, and I think definitely it still holds true. I think the repeatability of this party is not very high. It's basically the same thing every single year. There's a couple of things, like Mickey and Minnie have different outfits this year. There's a couple of different meet and greets. But for the most part, if you've been to one Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, you've kind of been to them all. They're very similar. I don't know if I don't think it needs to be reworked from the ground up or anything. I think it is a good party. I think they've gotten a pretty good balance of how to do these and move crowds around and things. But for me, I don't see the need to do it. You know, it's like Halloween Horror Nights. If you look over there, there's always different haunted houses every year. So there is a built-in, let's check out the new stuff here.
Right.
There's really not a whole lot of new stuff here. And really, too, once you start looking at the cost of this, I mean, it was one thing. It wasn't even that long ago. It was under $100 to go.
Oh, gosh. It was last couple of years. It was still under 100.
So now you're talking about, if you're going toward the upper end there, if you got a family of 4, you're talking almost $800 to go.
When we went in 2018, I think it was the first year we went, it was $75 per person for us to go. So it's gone up like $10 each year.
Yeah. So now even on the low end, you're at the very least paying probably close to $500. And
for a family of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about families, which this party's basically built for, is families for the most part. Mm-hmm. I think that immediately will price a lot of people out. Then you can talk about, well, there's demand, so that may be what they're trying to do. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But repeatability, I think the price almost is prohibitive in that. And in that also, you know, you can do there's a bunch of Halloween related things you could do with, you know, your family if it was just about getting candy and things like that. So for me personally, outside of obviously we review it for the show, if it was just without that aspect of it, for me and trying to just think about it as like objectively, there's nothing that's just like, I don't go into these parties thinking like, oh man, what is new this year? It's kind of, you know what you're going to get. But I don't know. What about you?
Oh, I have a blast. I love it.
Well, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just
Right.
saying like repeatability and like newness is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, even if it's not new every year, I still really enjoy it. I love the Jack Skellington puppet thing in the fireworks show. Boo to You Parade gets into my head every year, and I love it. I love the trick-or-treating aspect. I love seeing everybody in their costumes. So, like, yeah, people dress up every year, but, like, I love seeing the creativity and what, you know, you can actually dress up as, too. I love that part. Party merchandise is different. The food and drinks are different. So, I mean, like, there's enough different things that they add every year for me to make it worth it. But I can see what you're saying. If you're going for your one-time trip, like, yeah, maybe do it. But if you go every year and you just want something different, like maybe this wouldn't be for you. But
here's a question though. Once you start, so eventually they're going to get over the $200 mark for this party on the high end. Probably next year, within 2 years, be my guess. Mm-hmm. At that point, repeatability and things of that nature, do you think that this party is worth it at $200?
No, personally, no, I don't.
See, that's where I agree. You're talking about this party, like, historically speaking, I've even told people, like, yeah, I mean, the Halloween party and the Christmas party, like, it's really good. And typically it had been fairly reasonable,
right,
in terms of a special event.
Right.
But now when you're getting to this, like, now you're well over 100.
Right.
And most nights are going to be probably mid-hundreds per person.
But here's the thing. What they're doing, and if you're a family of 4 or 5, whatever, you're coming to Disney, you've bought your tickets, you have the hotel, so you've got the whole shebang. You just get 1 day less of tickets and use this party as a ticket day. It kind of makes up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right.
But then that gets into the question, is it worth, then you'd have to have that discussion internally. Is a 4 hour, was it 4 or 5 hours typically? I think it's 4 hours for the party.
The party starts at 7 to midnight, but you can get in as early as 4. So you can have 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is that worth it over an entire, potentially like one park or multiple park day? That's something that people have to figure out. But I just think as that price goes up, it becomes a little, you know, it's seeing that at 199. I just remember last year I saw it and seeing it this year. I'm like, that is wild because it
Yeah.
really was not that long ago where it was not even. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy the one year that I did the Cruella de Vil party, and I think that ticket combined with the ticket I went to was almost $200. That was just me though.
Yeah.
That's one just to review it. So
Yeah.
that was like an extra party included, not just the base
Oh,
level.
that's right.
But
Well, yeah, I don't think I would go to a party that costs $200, which is why we typically go in August or early September when the prices are still close to that 100 mark. I can justify it more if it's closer to that 100, but when you get to the 200 a person, I'm like, okay, let me just think about it. Cost is definitely something to consider. Like, I mean, I think that most people that buy these tickets are definitely considering like, okay, is the price going to be worth it? Especially if I've already done it. You know?
I think that's the
So-
thing. If you've never done it, I think that's a separate thing. If you've done it
Yeah.
before, is there enough variety or whatever to, and maybe not. Some people just enjoy doing it every year and that's fine. But for some people, it's like, is there enough to bring them back? But I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how much it sells out this year. If it,
Like how quickly?
yeah, because
Yeah.
last year it wasn't very quick. This year, if they're already looking at a soft summer,
Right.
that a lot of times when this party starts, which is September, that's a pretty soft time of year to begin with.
I mean, August.
Well, August, September area, because kids go back to school. So,
Right.
but I mean, ultimately, these parties keep selling out, so they have every raise the price, I guess, until that doesn't happen. But
I think it'll keep happening.
it'll be interesting, just given like they're already not anticipating the summer being super strong.
Yeah.
So seeing how that affects this, we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you want to go, there you go.